10 Big Ten matches down. Just how do you feel maybe about where this team is right now?
I feel good about it. Last couple of years we've kind of been on the bubble as of this time of year, and we're above that bubble, or in the bubble, I guess you can say. And so, I think we did a nice job in the pre-conference. We did a good job in the first half of Big Ten play. The hardest part's coming up, though. We got to make sure we still take it one match at a time and just be ready for the next opponent.
How has this team maybe changed over the course of 10 Big Ten matches?
We always talk about just improving every game, and I think we've seen that. We started out west, and it was a tough road trip with the time differential and everything, and then come back with the welcome to Nebraska, but that was also a catalyst for us too, where I felt we were in a lot better rallies than we were in the first weekend, and that led to the next 5. We got to play them again this last week, and I felt we played them better than we did the first time at their place, and then able to fend off a pesky Iowa. So finishing first half 6-4, top half of the Big Ten, it's no joke this year. So I'm happy with where we're at right now.
Then what do you need to see from them in the push through the second 10?
Yeah, it's really again about just trying to handle business, whenever you can. And I'd say every team's dangerous at this time of year. And if the team's in the upper half or upper third, they're fighting for a seed. If the team's in the middle third, they're fighting for a spot in the tournament. And the team's lower third, they got nothing to lose. And so it's really just making sure every opponent's respected, and we keep attacking every match as we have been. I felt we've done a really nice job of taking every opponent for who they are, making small adjustments to try to negate some of their strengths and able to execute on our end as well.
Do you give the team a sense of this is where we stand? Just kind of on a big picture?
Yeah, I think it's always good to tell them where we're at, but we didn't get there by thinking, overthinking it in the first place. We got there by, just again trying to take it one day at a time, one match at a time. And Raina said a couple weeks ago, we went over a few things. And, hey, we're just trying to go 1-0 every single time, and even we're trying to go 1-0 in practice, trying to have a great practice every day. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do at this time of year. When you've been traveling a lot, your body seems worn down. The time changes, the classes get, midterms get going. It's really about rest, recovery, making sure you're ready for the next. And I think the team's been doing an excellent job of improving when they can, and like I said, just getting after it every single time they're out there on the court.
Christy analytically has been one of your better passers this year. I guess, what have you seen from her since the summer, just growing as a Big Ten player now?
Yeah, I think part of it's just being at this level every single day, and we've got notorious that we get after it from the service side. We do no different when we practice. So the chance she's been able to see it over and over again is a big deal, and both as a passer and as a defender, she's making some really big plays in big time moments.
I guess Raina talked about this team having grit and passion, and with the drive towards getting back to the tournament. Has that come through to you?
Yeah, I think it's always been there. The tough part can always be kind of the game between the years, and trying to be able to execute while you've got those pressures happening. And it's one of those things that's easier said than done. And I think I say it a couple times to you guys as well. If it were easy, everyone would just go out there and do it, but it's not. And just to make sure that their mindset's in the right place, we've got some great senior leadership, like Raina, like Christy, who's been there before too. Maybe not necessarily with us, but has some experience there. That goes a long way, and able to talk to the team and making sure that they're not freaking out in some of those moments, and in some of the games too, like that we played. I think people have done a nice job trying to slow down Raina, but we've got other people that can hurt you, and I think we've been doing a nice job of distributing the ball, and Raina's done a nice job of still staying in the game. Years past, she might have, some of her serving or passing might have gone away, but she's been doing an excellent job of just staying in there as a 6 rotation player and being a real leader from that regard too.
Taylor has gotten a little more playing time here in the back half of the season. Do you anticipate that to grow?
Yeah, we're always looking at ways that we can score points, and she's been practicing great, and so it's just we have the flexibility to do it. And, it requires a couple players to kind of move positions around, but we feel comfortable in doing it based on their previous history. Illini being one of them, she played middle and club too, and so we're able to move some routes around, and makes us a more formidable attacking unit. There can be, it depends how our passing goes, and I don't want to just automatically go with it. We got to, kind of get a feel for it. But she did great when she stepped onto the court this last weekend, and continue to look at how to use it effectively.
Rematch with Northwestern, then first look at Wisconsin? Just going, what does this week bring for your team?
Whenever you get a rematch, it can always be dangerous. And I always said that's the tough part of this year. You only see 3 teams twice, and of those teams you do see twice, they do have some familiarity from the first time. And I thought they battled us well. We were able to come out with victory, but whenever a team's seen you already, they already know what to expect. So that can be a lot more dangerous. And they made some changes since then too. So we got to be prepped for the changes they made. And then Wisconsin's been good. They've been rolling as of late. They handled a very good Purdue team last weekend, and so them, they're the biggest team in the conference. So you got to be ready for their block. You got to be ready to be resilient with your attack and be able to score points when you can.
Granted that this year's team has more passion than maybe teams have in years prior. I guess what have you seen from the team in that aspect?
Again, I just think we have a good mix of players that both from our young players and our older players that I think it always just comes from within, and not that teams from past didn't have passion or didn't have grit. I just think some of those matches that can get turned into a loss pretty quickly have been turned into wins, right? And kind of one of our mantras has always been 3 sets by 2 points, and we're taking some of those into the game runs that we may have given up a few points either beginning of the season or last year. Now we're turning those into wins, and even this last weekend against Iowa, I would like to close it out in 3, but Iowa's a good team, and they've been pushing teams to 4, and I told them after that set, it's like, okay, unfortunate happening there, but let's see how we respond. We responded great, and so they're very mature in their mindset, and even our younger players have been really good, and they don't freak out. They stay pretty calm, and they're getting some good play out of them. Good play out of everyone.
It's 10 Big Ten matches for Laney and Ashley. Just as their first look at it, how do you feel like maybe adjusted or adapted or thrived in some cases?
Yeah, good. I mean, they haven't come off the floor really,
Yeah.
so it's that's unique for freshmen in the Big Ten, because at some point usually there's something cracks them, and they don't get what they want, or they face a bigger blocker, or what it might be. But both of them have a great competitive mindset, and they're very resilient in their game, and they keep improving every single week that we're out there. So the toughest thing to do is to learn the speed and learn the height of the game, coming from a club where maybe you get away with some swings that you can't get away with here, and they happened early on. They didn't get away with certain swings, but they've been really good about being really intent on working on what they need to, and improving every match.
Good.
That's great.
Good. All right, thanks, guys.